This is my favourite book of 2024. It's called Belonging by Owen Eastwood. My one regret with this book is I wish I'd read it earlier. Here's the thing. Welcome back to the Marketing for Business podcast. Today, I'm going to talk about this book, but I'm also going to break it down on what you can do to use it in your marketing in 2025. So I read this book in 2024. I was given it, and I think I was given it in 2023. Never really read it. And then about 3 people said to me, "Have you read this book called Belonging by Owen Eastwood?" Actually, he's a Kiwi guy, lives overseas now. But what a book! This book, 3 really big concepts for me. Look, he talks about whakapapa. He talks a lot about the All Blacks and the English soccer football team and other sporting teams, British cycling or British Olympic team, etc. But he talks about how, through shared story, you can create belongingness. And he talks about how the Māori and the concept of whakapapa, which frames individuals coming together as a continuous line of connections through the past, etc., and to the past, the present, and the future. And this, how you can create a shared story around that. Really, really key in this book, and how it comes across, and how you can actually build a team and build movements that people want to be part of. So it's not just about you, it's about everyone else belonging to that. I really, really love the book. A lot of, definitely around purpose-driven and how to be purpose-driven so it creates loyalty was another big one for me, and that one of the key things that came across there. Look, there's so many really good stories in this, but what I thought I'd do, it's the 23rd of January, 2025. So what I thought I'd do is give you some insights. I've got 7 insights from this book. And I thought to myself, look, great book, but how can a business owner use this in their marketing? And if you haven't read it, you should read it. If you've read it, you're going to kind of get an understanding of what I'm going to talk about. Because, look, in the book, some of the sporting teams he talks about, did talk about the All Blacks already, the England football team, the South African cricket team. There's a great piece in here about the campfire. You should really read that, and how to bring teams together. And then when they dysfunction, how to actually bring them back in together again. Really, really good. The British Olympic team, as I mentioned. But he also talks about, businesses like Google, military organizations, but also corporates and the corporate leadership teams. And I wanted to see how you could relate this to small businesses. So I started reading it again. And here's some 7 things I think a small business could do with their digital marketing or marketing. Look, I think, number 1, lead with storytelling. Storytelling can build connection. And in 2025, I really believe the connection to your audience is going to be really, really important. Look, I've seen this in 2024, and I think it will just evolve more in 2025. As a business, though, here's some things that you could do. You could share your origin story, why the business was created, why you started it, who you started it for, and who you help. Emphasize your journey, but bring people along that journey. Talk about your core values and what they mean to you and what they mean to your customers, and how they're impacting the world, etc., and how they're impacting the people that you're dealing with. One of the ways you could do that is with video. Create some video content. Also, putting it out there on your social media or your blog, etc. And start to feature your story, but also then bring customers into that journey as well. One of the things you'll see us doing next year, and we started doing it this year, is bringing our customers into those conversations with working with DI. So look, make no mistake, it carries on from the book, Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller. Stories and story alignment humanizes everything. Okay, it's one of the reasons, if you haven't heard, or it could be coming up, the one about selling toothpicks, the podcast and the video that I share there. It humanizes things. It makes people see that you're real. And it creates that emotional anchor with people, which is what you're going to need in 2025. It turns, people can sometimes just see you. And I see this all the time when we're doing week and with strategy sessions and high performance reviews. You could take someone else's logo and you could put it on that website because there's no difference. There's no difference. You got to humanize things in 2025. So lead with storytelling through that whakapapa, that lineage, that connection, and it's a great way to do that. Once again, as I said, a good example of that is look what we're doing at Digital Influence. Number 2, build communities, not just audience. Look, for me, This is something we've probably done over the last, 10 years, is really looked to foster connections and build those communities. Oh, great saying I heard once is, people come for the content, but they'll stay for your community. So you've got to build community. So what are you doing to build community with your customers? It's not just about getting a customer acquisition, etc. It's about building that community so people feel connected. So what are you doing with that? Maybe it's creating a Facebook group. Maybe it's creating, another online platform where you can bring people together. Maybe it's about creating some virtual meetups, etc. Maybe it's about developing like we've done, a Lunch and Learn series, an After 5 series, bringing people together where they get exclusive content, etc., access to you and your team, and generally just have a bit of fun. Why this works? Well, it provides a shared space where people can join. They not only meet you, but they can meet other people, and that's really, really important. It's part of that belonging, which is so important. Like Owen talks about this in great depth in here, and once again, if you haven't read it, you should read it. Do yourself the treat of getting it. If you look at a really amazing business that's done this over the years and is huge, right, is Lego. I know for my son, growing up, we played a lot of Lego, and you can actually submit your own ideas to Lego. You can, they're not just, having a product there, they're creating a community that you are starting to get involved with, which is, it's just strengthening the bond between the customer and the product, and the customer and the business. So that's why it works. So number 2 is, make sure you build communities, not just audiences. Number 3, I love this, purpose-driven branding for authentic engagement. Look, it's in 2025, brands and businesses, whether you're large or small, people will choose brands reflected on the values that you're giving, and you need to be purposely driven in your marketing to foster those deeper connections. Create campaigns around sustainability things that you're doing, community support, charitable support. Relate to your core mission, sharing your core values, etc. Why this works is when businesses champion what resonates with them and their audience, it brings everyone closer together. That shared purpose, and this is what I love. Why this book is such a great read. Great business if you want to see this happen. And I remember first engaging with this business probably about 10 years ago. It was Tom's. And I bought a pair of their shoes, and they have the buy one give one model. So you bought a pair of shoes, and they gave a pair of shoes to someone else in the world. And I quickly became a brand advocate of that. I was telling all my friends, and then not only were they good shoes too, but that fostered that connection, and it fostered engagement through that purpose driven. So become very purpose-driven and be authentic with your engagement. Look, people can smell it when you're not, right? Number 4, look, establish trust and transparency and consistency, right? And look, that can be really easy to say, but being transparent is so important these days. Look, customers know if they're feeling insecure about your brand. If you're not being transparent with them, then they'll see it, right? So be transparent about where you're sourcing your product, your pricing, your sustainability practices. Offer, be proactive if people ask you questions, etc. And engage with them on social media, answer their questions, etc. One of the things, and there's a good example of what you can do is look. One way to build trust is to demonstrate credibility. Okay, and one way to demonstrate credibility is get on camera. Okay, get on camera and be the face of your business. Start talking in front of camera and sharing some things, and be consistent with it. Because here's the thing: if you show up time and time again, people are going to see you. And all of a sudden they're going to watch something, and you're going to get the quality person and the quantity person come along. One person might only need to see one video and they'll start to engage and want to do business. Another person might need to see 10, 20, 30 videos, but then you'll have built trust with them and they'll start doing business with you. This is a great way to build trust, is to be consistent with your marketing. And in 2025, it will work for the businesses that do it. Number 5 is turn your customers into co-creators. I love this. Once again, a strong feeling of belonging when doing this. Engage with your customers. Get them active members of your business. If you can, interview them. If you can, have them in your content, etc. And make them feel like they're part of your business. One way to do that is create contests. You could be creating contests. You could be creating stories that are created around your customers. Even you could do this with your staff as well. And one of the great, look, Bunnings have done this really well by having their team members come in and shoot ads, etc., and be real part of it. Why this works is it really does create contribution by your customers or by your team, and it makes them feel part of the success that you're bringing, that belonging together, and it builds supporters and advocates, which is really good. Why it works also, when you see this work, you start to hear other people talking about your marketing. Oh, I saw such and such in your marketing. I saw such and such in you'll know it's starting to work. And here's the thing, people will tell them about that as well, and the people that were in it will start to feel proud and start to feel a sense of belonging, which is this all about. Number 6, personalization is a path to connection. I've been talking about this a lot, but digital marketing is becoming, to some degree over hyped, okay, when it comes to everything. You can automate everything and all that sort of stuff with AI. But here's the thing, what you can do is you can use technology to drive more personalization. Making things more personalized using the technology will be a winner in 2025. And here's the thing, if you have Netflix, you know what I'm talking about, because Netflix, based on what you watch, it will serve you recommendations, okay? So the algorithm starts understanding what you like watching, and will start serving you things that you can watch. Now, here's the thing. Why is that good? It's because you'll stay on Netflix longer. You'll watch. Not only that, you'll tell other people, because generally, if your friends are like you, they will want to watch similar programs to you. So all of a sudden, Netflix has this constant feedback loop going, and sharing. You end up sharing what you're watching. People end up sharing what they're watching based on the AI that's understanding the recommendations. Now, you could easily do this in your business just with email. And you could do it without the AI. Actually, you could just send more personalized emails. You could send more personalized handwritten notes, etc. Oh, Scott, I don't want to do that. Well, here's the thing. In 2025, the path to personalization is going to be the key, because it's one of those things most other people won't be doing to belong. Okay. Number 7. Cultural relevance and social awareness. And look, I got this from the book. Being culturally aware and socially aware of what's going on will help your brands resonate even more and a little bit more deeply. You want to stay ahead of the cultural trends and what's going on and some of those conversations that are happening. Because here's the thing. If you can get into that and you can understand it, you can then really create some cool marketing campaigns around it. Nike did, I remember the Nike one around 2020, they did the You Can't Stop Us. If you want to see a really good marketing campaign around that cultural awareness and social responsibility, etc., go and have a look at that on YouTube. Type in You Can't Stop Us. And it's a really good insight into what was going on at the time and how Nike wanted to have that conversation through sport, through its brand, to grow and people could see what they stood for, etc. So here's the thing. 2025 is going to be a rip year. Here's what I recommend. If you haven't read it, go read it. This is a great book. If you're a leader of a business, you want to go read this book, okay? I've given you some ideas on how you could market your business a little bit differently. And I wanted to put this together because I think it's time to think a little bit differently. Belonging will actually move you beyond the transaction. And I think this is the key message I want you to leave with today. And that is connection will be your greatest currency. I'll say that again. Connection to your people will be your greatest currency. So in your marketing, How can you create more connections? How can you create more personalization? How can you bring people in so they belong and they get that sense of feeling inside when you're marketing your business? Because you'll be the one that wins. And if you stay long term, you'll win even more because you can't do this for a short burst. You've got to be having your vision. You've got to have your mission. You've got to be vision driven, which this book will actually also teach you, and you will win in 2025. All right, I want you to thrive in 25. If you've got any questions, feel free, hook me up. 021 891 934. I'd love to have a conversation, even if it's about this book. Man, it's such a powerful book. I hope there's some insights here. Look, 25 is going to be a ripper. I'd love you to do one thing. You're part of this community. You belong to this community. Share this podcast with someone else, okay? Share this podcast with someone else today. I think more people need to be part of this community, to belong to this community. So do me a favor. Share this podcast today, and I'll talk to you really, really soon. Until then, have fun, and as always, celebrate your victories.